So, I just saw something on Facebook and it got me thinking about something. So, for a long time, I have been in huge support of the whole Sorry, I'm touching the table, it's making the camera wobble. Anyways, for a long time, I've been a huge supporter of the whole Black Lives Matter movement and very much against police brutality and all this other stuff. So, obviously, there's stuff on Facebook that I see and it gets posted and everything else. Talking about it, and so I see what's going on, and Black voices talking about it, and sort of things that they're saying to try and get it through to people who are racist assholes. Why this shit is wrong, because apparently people don't understand why murder is wrong. Anyways, but something I just saw was saying that, like, everyone is sympathizing, not everyone, I'm making a generalization, but the media and these, all lives matter people and all this other stuff are saying, like the people who are sympathizing with the cops are, doing the heat of the moment, and, people are saying that the cops are, like they're given that kind of that leeway because, they're allowed to have that kind of adrenaline rush, that panic, the irrational behavior, thoughts, whatever, in that tense, fearful moment. Yet, the citizens, they always end up, if you only stayed calm and did all this other stuff and did what they want or whatever, this wouldn't have happened, blah, blah, blah. But the person this said is like, cops are allowed to have that sort of panic and that fear and that sort of thing, but free citizens are expected to remain calm while there's a gun in their face. And then that first of all is like, that's not exactly what they said. Like the second half of what they said was, but and unfortunately my Facebook freaking thing, you're like reading, I shared it, and then right when I shared it, it like reloaded, so it's somewhere buried and I don't feel like looking for it because my internet is shit. But anyways, but then that also got me thinking about something else as well, something that I've for a long time been trying to get through to people, and just try to get more awareness from, and I just haven't been able to get a lot of people to get, is that, and I've said this, I'm pretty sure, I'm almost 100% certain that I've said this in previous videos before, but that fear is dangerous. Fear is the thing that causes violence, that causes attacks, that causes this stuff. And actually, now that I'm saying it out loud, I have most definitely said this in my previous videos. And because, and it reminds me of this photo I saw not that long ago, I think like a week or so ago, of this protester who was getting arrested by I want to say riot police, but I can't even tell. They're so fucking the militarized police in the States. It's fucking ridiculous. Anyways, this woman, this slight woman wearing a thin, just wearing a thin sundress, just standing out with her hands like this, and these two, riot police or militarized police, are coming up to arrest her, and they're like freaking, armed to the teeth with all this fucking padding and protection and all this fucking, they have more like fucking gear than a fucking soldier in a war zone on them, and they have like a whole fucking bunch of them behind them, and the two of them, and someone commented, and it's true, if you look at them, they look terrified of this woman who is just calmly standing there with her wrists out to be handcuffed because she's peacefully protesting, and that'll get you arrested if you're black in the States. And people were commenting about this, but that's right, they look terrified of this woman because she's black, and that's the thing. That is the biggest thing. Like, it is fear. People talk about how, the racists talk about how, black people are, going to be criminals, and this whole thing about, like, shooting them down. They think innately that a black person is dangerous just because, more dangerous than a white person. And they've done studies about this, and they see black in, white people see black people as less vulnerable to like being hurt and pain and all this other stuff, and more capable of doing damage and things like that, just on a subconscious level. Like, they've obviously not been like just straight up asking that, but like from like testing or whatever, from an overall, and they've seen that sort of thing. And it's really kind of in that it's from fear. And in case you haven't seen my previous videos talking about this, if you go right back into an animalistic perspective, like right to, like, we look at animals, because the thing is that if you really get down to it, human beings are animals. I mean, we're mammals. We're, you know, we share like 98% of our DNA with chimps. Like, it's whatever. But in like, fear is the most base emotion. It's the thing that has survived through, like, it's the thing that we have most in common, because fear puts you into an animalistic state or whatever. So and you don't think rationally, you know, that upper brain function is gone because it's all survival. And fear is dangerous, and animals understand that fear is dangerous better than humans do, because like any single person who's a trainer or like a behaviorist for pets or whatever, even like, for example, like for a time I got really into watching, like, even just on the most basic level, I got really into watching Jackson Galaxy's series, and he's a cat behaviorist, like just for pet cats, okay? He would go into this house and like, oh, my cat's crazy, he's always attacking me and everything else, and then he's like, okay, well, let's see how you interact with the cat. And the person is terrified of this cat, and so the cat gets terrified of the person, because the cat understands that fear, because the cat's innate thing is, okay, that person, that this other, you know, living organism, person, this other animal, because the cat doesn't understand the whole like hierarchy of humans and whatever, this other animal is scared. That's terrifying to me. I don't know what they're gonna do, so I don't want them to touch me because they're scared and I don't know what they're gonna do. So fuck off. Fuck off. I'm terrified of you because you're scared. Because fear is unpredictable, because fear puts your brain into, I'm going to do anything and everything I can to survive, and it doesn't matter. And I'm going to go through anyone to survive. And it's all about number one, or at the very least, the people you care about. So that's why whenever they're talking about, like, you know, if you're encountering a wild animal or something, like, don't start freaking out. Calm, still, you know, don't freak out, because that's the best way to get attacked. And the whole, like, they're more, that, like, every single time, like, you know, they're showing, like, they're more afraid of you than you are of them. It is that. And if you just, like, right back into that basic thing, because and you go into the reason why whenever they have something going on, that in like the officials and everything else, like, we don't want to incite a panic, because panic is dangerous. A groupthink of everyone getting freaked out and panicked, and it spreads, and it's fear is dangerous. Fear is necessary, and fear is useful, but it's also dangerous. And this even goes right back into, oh, you know, the whole thing, like, homophobia, you're not afraid, you're just an asshole. Because the thing is that there is a type of fear behind it. Behind every single discriminatory thing, there is a fear behind it. It's underneath it that is motivating it. I have talked to these fucking assholes who are these discriminatory assholes who claim they are not, but anyway. And when they're talking about it and everything else, it's because they are afraid of becoming the discriminated class. These cishet white men or whatever, like, that's just an example of several states of privilege, but they don't want to be the ones who are the things that they're talking about, like, oh, you know, these, you know, social justice warriors, these feminists, these, you know, black people, or what, you name it, you fucking name whatever. They just want to have the white people, the straight people, the cis people, the men, the whatever. They want them to, you know, and then the stuff they're describing, and I'm like, but that's what we're dealing with. And if you go all the way back even to freaking suffragettes, like back trying to get the freaking vote, the fucking propaganda against it was basically, okay, to try and get men to be convinced not to do it is basically, okay, so you're afraid of, you know, all the stuff that women are, like, men having to deal with all the stuff that women are having to deal with. And it's just, like, even just stuff like having to do a little bit more around the house, or actually take care of your own goddamn kids a little bit. And it's like, it is fear at the most basic level, even if it's just fear of change, which is why, you know, people don't understand why, like, conservative, if you just look at the word, is to conserve the way things have been done, which is why people don't understand why, like, conservative, saying you're conservative but you're like okay with this, that, or the other thing, it's like, then you're not truly conservative, because it's an oxymoron then. Liberal, you know, if you're just going conservative versus liberal, conservative means you want to conserve things to be the way they always, the way they are, the way they've always been, everything, blah blah blah. Whereas liberal, you're more like, you're more liberal, like, you know, you're more liberal to application of change, more things like this. So that's the whole, if you just look at the most base words, and because the thing is that so many times that words get thrown around, you forget what the words are. So yeah, anyways, I, by the way, will be posting, I will look through them in my Facebook so that I can post. I just need to sit down while I had all the thoughts ready to say, but I will be posting the pictures, both of the really poignant thing about the, you know, with the gun in the face thing, remain calm, and also the really, you know, amazing picture of the woman who's getting arrested by the militarized police in the description. But yeah, sorry for the long video again, because like all my fucking videos end up really long. But yeah, thanks for watching.